after 2 weeks of college football, man, who you guys have as your Heisman favorite right now?
I
Who's
mean,
on the
come on.
top of that list?
It's too easy. And if you don't have Quinn Ewers number one, you're smoking crack. But he's got the best win in college football. And he's got the numbers to do it as well. I told y'all last year he was going to beat Alabama. He did in Tuscaloosa. Now he beat Michigan in Ann Arbor. It's early on in the year. No one's got a better win than him, along with the stats as well on top of it. Um, uh, he's been dominant. He's thrown one interception, and it was a deflected ball. He's been flawless, honestly. And you got to give him credit because of people like C that love to mention how Arch Manning might step in there. Despite all that, he continues producing and continues showing up. There's no Arch Manning this year unless it's garbage time. Quinn Ewers is the Heisman favorite right now. Now, I don't lose personally. I don't lose my mind over Heisman winners. I just think it's a nice bonus, but I don't know because a lot of players can have a great 1 year, but if you're not winning like big games and getting to at least now the playoffs, it doesn't that matter that much to me. Like you have to have like you have to be basically in the final four at the end for me to really be impressed by a Heisman season. So he can win the Heisman, but if he does not get to at least the semifinals, I don't care. Like I don't get lost with that. That's my thing with like Lamar Jackson and MVP. Like I don't care if you continue losing the playoffs every time. So you have to end up like Manning, Rodgers, Brady, and actually capitalize those MVPs with rings eventually. So same thing with Quinn Ewers. He can go win it, but I don't care unless he makes a long run. But right now it's Quinn Ewers. I know some people might say Cam Ward, but Florida looks terrible. Not take anything away from Cam Ward because he's looked good, but Florida looks terrible. But also it is just 2 weeks in, so yeah, I don't think it really matters that much yet.
What you guys see?
All right. All right, man. I'm not gonna overreact with Quinn Ewers. I know that's your team, and that's why you're saying that. This is, however, an individual award. It's not a team award. So if he doesn't win a national championship, doesn't mean he didn't have a great individual season. And he's starting out good. He's starting out good. So as of right now, for 2 weeks in, I mean, he's leading everybody. I'll go with it, Quinn Ewers, but it doesn't change my pick of Jalen Milroe um um winning the Heisman. I still think Milroe is gonna come through and end up winning it, but for right now, I do have Ewers leading it two games in.
What you thinking, Reek?
Okay,
Let's go, Reek.
I got a quick question. What do you think an athlete prefers to win a college title or to make it to the league?
Make it to the league.
Make it to the league.
Make it
So
to the
Heisman, I disagree with Ivan. Well, he said personally it doesn't matter to him, but I think Heisman matters. We got Kyler Murray, Baker Mayfield. The number one and number two picks this year were the last two Heisman winners. So Heisman matters. I just want to put that out there. Like that's an accomplishment that you really, that's your all your work that you've done, all your life playing that sport that matters. You can't control what team is around you, but you can control what you do. So I think that matters. And now as far as who's the winner right now, who's up, it's so many people playing good. I got about 4 or 5 people that I think is deserving at this point. Um, from Ewers, I can't pronounce his name for some reason, whatever. But Texas quarterback Ewers, am I saying it
Ewers.
right? If I'm not, forgive
Yeah,
me,
Quinn, Quinn
Ivan.
Ewers.
Uh,
Quinn Ewers.
nuts, but the nuts bus. We got Ward. We got McCord. I had one more person I put it in the chat a while ago. I can't remember who it is. But ultimately, I'm gonna personally go with the nuts bus right now for me as the right. I mean, I understand
What?
Ivan's argument. I
Reek,
respect
Reek,
Ivan's argument.
Put
Listen,
those Coronas away. Put those
listen.
Coronas away.
I respect Ivan's argument that who he played and everything.
Oh
That was an
my God.
amazing game. But I guess the way I'm looking at it, I'm projecting. And at the end of the day, stats is what they're not going to say. It's not like LSU is playing a bunch of bums all year. So we're going to see what he does going forward. But right now, stat wise, that game he just had, I don't know if he played the fourth quarter. I don't think he did. But he had about 5 TDs. Like he went nuts. So I'm going on
Six.
stats
Yeah,
alone.
six.
Six. All right, now don't
Yeah,
get
6.
crazy, y'all. Don't get crazy on me. Like, but
Shit, he went
I'm gonna
crazy.
go.
Why not?
Listen, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with the nuts bus. Cause no matter who you're playing, like unless you're playing like the lowest of the lowest tier, like 6 TDs is still impressive.
I got you.
Obviously a team like LSU, even a team like Miami, I believe they're gonna try to push their guy to get stats. Where I don't think Texas is going to do that. I think Texas is in for bigger things, as Ivan said, and they're in it for a championship. So they're not going to try to go throw it the 4 yard line and throw a pass when they can just run it in. Like you know what I'm saying. So that's no knock to Ewers. I just think Texas have bigger goals as a whole. But I think LSU, I don't think they have a chance to win the title. Neither does Miami. So I just think that LSU and Miami and teams like that is going to push their quarterbacks to get extra stat pad basically when they don't need to.
Okay, listen. I am the biggest LSU fan. I love what you just said. But no, I'm not even gonna act like I got Gary Dustmar as the #1 Heisman. He's not even in my top 5. He has
Wow.
good numbers, but you beat Nicholls State. I got first of all, we gotta put some respect on that. It was Nicholls State. And I went to Nicholls. I actually started out in college at Nicholls State.
So both of them was your colleges.
Yeah, so it was both my colleges. But yeah, no, I can't. Who you playing, what you doing those big stages to me matters. I understand what you're saying. Definitely, like I said, making it to the NFL to me is bigger than winning a national championship. Maybe others may feel different. That's just my opinion. But I agree with Yvonne when it comes to how you pick the Heisman Trophy winner. Right now, Quinn Ewers is the front runner for the Heisman. And look, I'm not a Texas fan. I'm just calling it what it is. Quinn Ewers would be #1 for me, followed by Cam Ward. I would actually have Ward second, just because of how comfortable he looked in that Florida game. Yeah, Florida might be trash, but Cam Ward just looks like a different type of dude right now, bro. He goes out there, he has this swag, like he's bringing the U back single-handedly, because every year we hear the U is back, the U is back. Well, he looks like he's putting them on his back, and it's like, yeah, we really here for real. I know you said 1 kill, but I want to give a shout out to all these guys. My third person will be Ashton Genty, man. This dude got 9 touchdowns at running back in 2 games. And you can't sit there and say he didn't play nobody. He just went head-to-head with Oregon and has 9 touchdowns. And in 2 games, he had 271 and 1 total yards and then 200 in the second. That's incredible at running back. He has more touchdowns than some quarterbacks have passing touchdowns. That's
Most of
crazy
them.
to me. And
Both.
we're talking about the upper echelon quarterbacks, like a Quinn Ewers. So Genty to me would be 3. #4, I would have Kyle McCord. I think he's going crazy for Syracuse. And I'm gonna give him his flowers for that win versus Georgia Tech. And then finally, even though I got this guy at 5, he hasn't played anybody. I'm going Jackson Dart from Ole Miss. They've been blowing teams out. It seems like they're just toying with teams at this point, and that's what you're supposed to do. We saw Penn State struggle. We saw Notre Dame struggle. We saw Oregon struggle. Well, Ole Miss ain't struggling. They're beating the brakes off of teams. So I got Jackson Dart at 5. Go ahead, Keo. I'm sorry.
The Heisman favorite. It was close, but I think after what I saw this week, it is Quinn Ewers. Quinn Ewers is the only quarterback that played in the college football playoffs last year that's actually playing at a high level right now. When you look at the first 2 weeks of it, he does have the most impressive win right now, going into a hostile environment in Michigan and putting up that type of performance. And I think the
You don't think
market,
Milroe's playing good?
They struggled.
not
They
this,
struggled against
yeah,
USF just recently.
yeah,
Oh, they
yeah. I
struggled
think,
because they had to pull that
I
game out late.
yeah,
He made some throws, but they struggled.
yeah,
I was about
yeah.
to, they may have struggled, but they pulled it out, and they pulled it out because of him.
Well, Williams was balling too. That young boy at 17, that wide receiver, he's nasty. But every time he gets the ball, it's like he's scoring a touchdown.
But yeah,
Got him the
Quinn
ball.
Ewers is he's the favorite. He's the favorite right now. He wasn't my favorite going into week 2, but he is the favorite right now. That was an impressive win going into Michigan and winning like that at the way they did. The game wasn't close at all. You could actually say the game they won because of Quinn Ewers. Like you could actually say that. Um,
You could
but
also say they won because Michigan don't have no offense at all. Terrible.
my number two guy, and it's still Carson Beck at number 2. Reek mentioned about Nussmeier throwing for what 6 touchdowns against what
6
Nickel State.
TDs.
Yeah,
Don't
yeah.
disrespect Nickel State. We
But
not
but
doing that on here.
guess what? Carson Beck threw for 5 touchdowns also. So if you're gonna keep the same energy with Nussmeier, keep it the same energy with Carson
He
Beck.
threw for 5,
Carson
Nuff threw for
Carson
6. Let's
Beck in
count.
Georgia smacked around Clemson, and Clemson bounced back this past week and probably had their best game. So
Good
I
point,
think
Keo.
I didn't
yes,
know Carson Beck had 5 touchdowns this past
yeah,
week. I thought he
man.
had 3.
Yeah, so and I just think the Heisman market is just the perception of Carson Beck. That's when it comes to. I just think the market views Ewers a little bit higher. Just when it comes to Texas and that market, and especially for Quinn Ewers, man. And I just think when Quinn Ewers and Carson Beck has the 2 best impressive wins right now. Beck beats Clemson, even though it was on a neutral site, but Ewers beat um Michigan in Michigan. So that's how I view my Heisman favorites right now.
Before we go any forward, and this is new because look, I picked Georgia to win the national championship, so I'm not about to just disrespect them. But I'm just saying, am I by myself? When I look at the Heisman, I want to feel like the best player won the Heisman. And I'm not disrespecting Carson Beck. I just don't look at him like what Quinn Ewers does, like you said, the throws he made in that game against Michigan, dog, like they would get a penalty or something would happen. He would make an incredible throw, dog. And like you could say, like Yvonne said, he made it happen for their team. I don't know. I don't view Carson Beck as that. I think he's a good quarterback, but it's more like Ken Dorsey. Like, yes, woo,
Wow.
that's no disrespect. Or I'm just being honest.
Ken Dorsey was nice, though. Hold on.
No,
Ken Dorsey was nice.
No, but listen, what I'm saying is you didn't think Ken Dorsey was the best player in college. He played well for his team. No, but you thought he was the best player in college?
I thought he was the best
Hell
college
no.
player. Yeah, college player. I didn't think he had an NFL career.
No, but on the team, you thought he was the best player on that Miami team?
No.
Hell no.
I mean, Miami was stacked back then.
No.
We was stacked back then. Like,
yo, word, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But I get what you're saying. I get the comparison because Beck, you put Beck on South Carolina.
Yeah, I don't think he has that success. I think Ewers is playing at a level right now that's literally separating Texas from the rest of the pack and putting them in that pack with Georgia. That's why I'm saying
Georgia. You put Beck on a Vanderbilt. He doesn't move the needle. They probably
I really don't think so. That's no knock to him. He may go into the NFL and be good. I just look at Carson Beck. Whoever drafts him, I'm saying this early on, 2 weeks in. I think that they're ending up with like a Vinny Testaverde, Danny Dimes. Like he won't be great in the NFL. That's just how I view him.
Well, I think you are missing the point. Keo's saying you can't have Nuss Bus above Carson Beck because at least Carson Beck is undefeated and has a win over Clemson. Meanwhile, all Nuss Bus has done is beat Nichols. Okay.
Don't do that. Hey, hold up. We're not doing that.
Clemson ain't good neither.
Clemson not good neither. Talking about team. We talking about individual award for individual play.
Yeah. And he's got one less touchdown in Nuss Bus.
He set a school record, man.
Yeah,
he set a school record. You look at the past quarterbacks that been there for Georgia; they never done that.
Georgia never had quarterbacks like that though. But
Stafford?
Clemson
They do
isn't the-
now.
Stafford, yeah, Stafford.
Nussmeier
Stafford never done that.
But saying that he broke a quarterback record for Georgia is not saying nothing great. Georgia never had no great quarterbacks like that.
Yeah, they
Stafford.
did. Stafford.
That's
Stafford
one.
his stats wasn't even
Stetson
great. He's
Bennett,
a great
2
NFL
national
player.
titles.
Aaron
Stetson
But
Bennett,
Murray.
Stafford
2
wasn't.
Aaron
national
Murray
titles.
was a good quarterback also.
Yeah,
Who?
y'all
He
tripping.
sound like ain't he a tennis player?
Aaron Murray was solid.
Wow. Come on, man.
Stetson Bennett's got 2 national titles, bro.
No, I agree with it, but that's what I'm saying. I view him
Georgia
more like
has 2
I
national
view him more
titles.
like a Stetson Bennett
Right.
than I view him as like a Vince Young. I think Vince Young carried Texas. Texas had a good team, but Vince Young carried them. Cam Newton carried Auburn. I don't think Carson
Yes.
Beck is carrying Georgia. I
Stetson
just
Bennett,
don't.
Stetson
We
Bennett and
agree.
Carson Beck, the same dude to me.
We agree, but Nuss Bus ain't do anything yet,
I
so
didn't
he
put
can't be
Garrett
above
Nuss fine
Carson
in
Beck.
top
Nuss threw
5.
for 6 touchdowns.
Okay, and beat Nichols. Carson Beck threw 5 touchdowns this week and beat Clemson the week before.
Who did he
But
throw
what
the
he do
5
against
touchdowns
Clemson though?
against?
What he
Who
do
did he throw
against
the 5
Clemson?
touchdowns against?
A team that's on the same
Tennessee
level as
Tech.
Nichols.
Boy, shut up.
Same level as Nichols.
No,
Well,
don't do
that's a
that. We not.
state. That's
Yes,
a
they
state.
are.
That's the same stature as Nicholls State.
Same
Come on,
No,
That's
like
hey,
you
we
exactly.
not doing
downplaying
that.
that,
Hey,
man.
hold on. We not disrespecting the Colonels.
Yeah, I
We gotta
am.
watch our
I
mouth.
am. I
Yeah, I
am.
am. Nicholls State. That's pathetic, man.
So we're gonna talk about also you believe
They
Tennessee
scored
Tech.
21 points against you guys. Come on, really?
Yeah,
Nickel
come on.
State is like
Y'all
that.
Hey,
Don't
trash.
do
guess
that.
what?
Y'all
Don't
Nussmeier
trash.
do
doesn't play
that. I
defense.
got y'all.
Meanwhile, they,
I got y'all.
meanwhile, the team that LSU lost to, they
Hey,
just
shout
shut
out to
out Utah
Homer. Shout
State
out to
48 to
Thibodeau.
zip.
I got y'all Nickel State.
Woo!
I'm holding down. I don't care what these boys are saying.
Hey,
Hey,
like I
next
said,
topic,
man,
man. Heisman is
you can't tell me
irrelevant
I need to
to
be
his
hype
pick.
off his 5 touchdowns against Tennessee
And
Tech,
we're gonna be
but I can't
hyped
be
about
hype off
Nussmeier's
Nussmeier
6
6.
touchdowns
I
against
didn't
Nicholls
have
State.
Nussmeier in my top 5,
Come
though.
on, man.
Let's just put it out there.
Hey, 2 weeks in for Heisman is irrelevant.
Nuss,
Next topic.